All right, everyone. What is up here today, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 here, making my Redskins at Eagles 2018 preview video. I've been thinking a lot about this game because I was ready to write the Eagles off after last game with the pitiful performance that they were putting up. And when they went 19-0, I thought for sure it was over, but they came back, they rallied, and they won. That's something we haven't seen from Carson Wentz in a while. That's something we haven't seen from this Eagles team since, like, the Rams game when they were behind. I mean, they did go behind in the Super Bowl as well, but it was only by 1 point, so that wasn't that bad. The Rams game, they were losing by 10, I think, at some point. So to see the Eagles come back and show that they still have some fight in them, to show Josh Adams how good Josh Adams was, basically show Doug Peterson everything that we've been saying as fans that he needs to start doing. We got awesome players on our team like Cravon LeBlanc, guys. Devontae Bowsby. These are names. And so, I don't know, the Eagles they rallied. They found a way to rally together to get that win. And it was really good to see. So, since their season is pretty much full swing alive still, this Redskins game is now more meaningful. And the Redskins are lacking that position that the Eagles have, and that is quarterback. The Redskins have Colt McCoy as their quarterback and Mark Sanchez as their backup quarterback, which is just not good all around. The Eagles are favorites. I think they're like +8 favorites or whatever it is for like the first time in a while. And, every indication points to the fact that they should win this game. The Eagles have the quarterback. The Eagles have a better offense. The Eagles' defense probably isn't as close to as good as Washington, but, Washington just does not have an offense. So it's like they beat the Buccaneers with 16 points. And the Buccaneers had over 500 yards, and they didn't score a touchdown. So I just look at that. I'm like, if the Bucs would have found the end zone with all those yards, Buccaneers probably would have won that game. So, there's a really big chance the Eagles can win this. That being said, the Eagles are the Eagles in 2018. We all know this. We've had many games this year where they shoulda, woulda, coulda won, and it just didn't happen. And we were just left sitting here asking ourselves why. Why didn't the Eagles beat the Titans on 4th and 15? Why didn't the Eagles beat the Panthers when they were up 17-0? Why didn't they beat the Cowboys at home wearing black when it was literally Dallas's funeral? These are questions that you have to ask. Because that is the narrative of the 2018 Eagles. Although I'm very happy about this Giants win, in no way does it change my view of where the Eagles are heading this year. And that is either one and done starting last week, because every single game now I'm looking at as a damn near win / must win. I'm looking at games like the Texans and the Rams as like maybe they can lose those and get away with 8-8 in the end of the year, but that's tough. It's tough. So I'm looking at like they got to beat every division opponent going forward. We play Dallas once, and we play the Redskins 2 more times. And that being said, the Redskins are in the same boat where they were winning, they lost their quarterback. They're going to come out angry. And I'm looking at that defense. That defense that just picked up Clinton Dix a couple weeks ago, and the defense that just picked up Reuben Foster, who I see a lot of people trashing on, which, I get it. Reuben Foster, he may be like a loser in real life, but, he's a talented football player. And that is definitely going to make their defense better. So, they got Josh Norman. Didn't forget his name this time. I had a video where I just could not remember Josh Norman for the life of me for some reason. But this defense on the Redskins is much better than the Eagles in ways, but the Eagles have that front seven, and we have Timmy Jernigan back now. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup, and honestly, the Eagles could win this with very few points if they're able to just shut down Washington's offense, which I could completely see happening given the fact that Colt McCoy threw 3 interceptions last week. And then if they put in Mark Sanchez, it's all over. They really have no options. It's like you pick the turd or you pick the worst turd. That's the Redskins' options at quarterback. The Eagles have, in my opinion, they still have the best quarterback situation in the league right now. They've got young Carson Wentz, and then they've got Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. So, regardless, they're good in that position. I'm looking at, it's really going to come down to, is this Eagles team going to show up? Did this Giant, because they haven't been able to string 2 wins together all season, guys. I hope you know that, which is insane. The Giants have even won 2 in a row. So it's this is the game now where it's are they going to win 2 in a row? Because this could be the start of the streak. Run the table, like Aaron Rodgers always says. So I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling here because I don't know what else to talk about. But basically, this NFC East division this year is just very weak, very soft. And any of these teams could get in with 8-8, 9-7. The way it's looking right now is Dallas is most likely to get in, but we'll see. So that's another thing. If the Eagles win this game, that's going to make the Dallas game next week that much more interesting, because keep in mind, Dallas has to play the Saints, and in many ways that's like 100% loss. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to beat the Saints, guys. I'm sorry, all the Dallas fans out there, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And if it does, I was wrong, but I just don't see how that could happen unless the Saints have a total mental collapse. Keep in mind, their only loss this year was to the Buccaneers, and that was at the beginning of the season when everyone thought Fitzpatrick was like this unheard of God among men quarterback that came out of nowhere. But now, he's becoming Fitz-tragic again, where he's just not as explosive. So there's a high chance Dallas loses. There's a high chance the Eagles win this. And then that makes that Dallas game in Jerryland a lot more interesting, because basically that's the playoffs right there. I mean, this is still a playoff game for the Eagles. If the Eagles lose to Washington this game, I mean, that's pretty much donezo. Yeah, that's done, because if they're probably not going to beat the Texans. I don't see that, and they're probably definitely not going to beat the Rams. I'm going to be there for that massacre, but I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. So they basically got to sweep the division from here on out. And so, yeah, I don't really have a score prediction for this game either. I think the Eagles are going to win just because it's at home. I think 2 things are going to happen. Either it's going to be a really well-fought game, or the Eagles are going to just blow the Redskins out. The Redskins are going to throw a ton of interceptions, because I just don't see how they're going to get Carson Wentz to make a lot of mistakes early on. So that's usually when Wentz makes the mistakes, is early on. It's usually near the end of the game when he starts waking up. So if the Eagles can somehow, get a rhythm early on, I think they've figured out that they need to run the ball with Josh Adams too, so we're going to see him a lot. Golden Tate, even though he hasn't been super explosive on this offense as of yet, he has been helping open this offense up big time. With guys like Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffrey, they're all getting open more now. It was at least what I'm noticing. And so, yeah, that's kind of all I got to say. I wish I had more about this game, but like I said, I'm just taking these games week to week. I've got no expectations for the Eagles anymore. They're going to just do what they do, and I'm going to continue to watch. But what do you guys think about this game? Redskins fans, give me your perspective. Eagles fans, whatever, football fans. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, as I will be covering the NFL and the Eagles all season long. But to all my returning viewers, thank you so much for watching. And this has been Jigsaw0097. I will talk to you all later.